Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Holly and it's time for another True Crime Tuesday. Just a disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only and it is not meant in any disrespect to any of the people mentioned. I'm sorry about my face, I haven't put makeup on, it is quite hot today and I couldn't be bothered. Same goes with my hair. I have straightened my hair but I just couldn't be bothered. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the Wineville Chicken Coop murders. On the 9th of November 1906, Gordon Northcott Stewart was born in Bladworth in Saskatchewan. I don't know if that's how you say it, I'm pretty sure it is Saskatchewan in Canada. He was raised in British Columbia in Canada. I think that's in Canada as well. My glasses. In 1924, he moved to Los Angeles with his parents, Sarah Louise Northcott and Cypress George Northcott. After 2 years of living there, George asked his dad if he would buy a plot of land in Wineville, California. On this plot of land, George built a chicken ranch and a house with the help of his dad and his nephew, Sanford Clark. On March 10th, 1928, a young boy called Walter Collins went missing. He had asked his mum for some money to go and see a movie at the local cinema or picture house, whatever they used to call them back then. And that was the last time she saw him. Now, he was seen by a neighbour at 5 o'clock on the corner of Pasadena Avenue in Lincoln Heights in California. Obviously, they didn't know what had happened to him. They did think that maybe because his dad, who was incarcerated at that time, that a fellow inmate from Folsom State Prison had done something to him just to get revenge because he'd had some trouble in this prison. But yeah, the police, the LAPD, could not find him until a gas station attendant from Glendale came forward. His name was Richard Strothers. Strothers? He came forward to police and told them that he had seen a dead boy in the back of a car wrapped in newspaper, and that when they had stopped to ask directions from somebody. Now, Richard Strothers described these people as being foreign people. Obviously, coming from Canada and being in Los Angeles, there's an accent, maybe. There was a man called C.V. Staley who these people had asked for directions off. He also saw the boy in the back of the car and he followed them until they stopped briefly at a police station and then quickly sped off. They didn't get out of the car or anything. They just stopped for a couple of minutes and then sped off. And this C.V. Staley. Now, when these two people came forward, the police showed them a picture of Walter Collins and said, "Is this the boy that you saw in the back of the car?" And they both confirmed that it was Walter Collins that they saw in this couple's car. On 16th of May 1928, Nelson and Lewis Winslow also went missing on their way home from Pomona. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce these. I am rubbish. It's either Pomona or Pomona. I like Pomona better. Let's call it Pomona. Now, the parents received strange letters from these boys. One of the letters was telling them, it was from the boys apparently, allegedly from these boys, telling her that they were going to Mexico. The second of the letters said that they will stay missing, basically, as long as they become famous, which they thought was a little bit strange, obviously, because these boys were 10 and 12 years old. The LAPD didn't connect these two missing persons cases together, which really they are completely different. One went missing going to the cinema and the mother didn't get a letter from Walter Collins, and then there's these two boys who went missing and the mother got letters. So it's kind of different, so there's no reason really to think that they are connected. They also couldn't find the connection of the headless boy who was a Latino in La Puente in February, and they also had no connection to the complaints from a neighbour saying that a young boy was being mistreated by a man on his chicken farm. So the LAPD weren't doing too great. In August 1928, the Illinois police picked up a young boy who said his name was Walter Collins. Now, the Illinois police sent a photo of this boy to the LAPD, who showed it to Christine Collins. And Christine Collins was like, "That's not my son." Then the Illinois police sent the boy down to Los Angeles to the police there, and the captain, J.J. Jones, basically turned round to Christine Collins and said, "We'll just give this one a try." What? Anyway, 3 weeks later, Christine Collins brought the boy back to the LAPD and was like, "Look, I have got Walter Collins, my son's dental records here, and I have got loads of signatures and statements saying that this boy is not my son." And the police put her in a mental health institute, in a hospital. Like, wow, obviously, surely a mother knows who her son is, and she's got the proof, but they totally dismissed it. Absolutely just dismissed it and said, well, anyway, I think later on in the story, which I'm not going to tell, but it did get proven that they did like a handwriting match-up, handwriting analysis, and he wrote his R's differently to how it's taught in Los Angeles, basically. So that got debunked, but she was in a mental institute because of this. She finally obviously did get set free. In August 1928, Sanford Clark, you know, the little nephew, went to visit the chicken ranch. She went to visit because she was concerned about the welfare of her brother. Basically, she was 19 years old at the time. And while she was there, Sanford Clark admitted to her that he was scared for his life and that they were beating him and all this kind of stuff. He also admitted that Gordon Northcott had killed 4 boys on the ranch. Now, obviously, this concerned Jessie a lot, and a week later, she didn't want to raise alarm, so she didn't leave any sooner than she had planned. And a week later, when she got back to Canada, she contacted the American consul, telling them of everything under a sworn statement. She must have had to have been sworn in to write this statement, and the American consul sent it over to the LAPD, who got in touch with immigration because there was a concern of immigration. So on the 31st of August, 2 immigration officers, agents, whatever you want to call them, turned up at the farm, and Gordon Northcott saw them coming down the road, and he turns and says to Sanford Clark, "You need to go and stall them. If you don't stall them for long enough or tell them anything, I will shoot you in the head." And he took a rifle and off he fled down into the tree line. Obviously, Sanford Clark did this, and until he knew that he was safe from being shot, it took 2 hours for him to know that he was safe, and then he told the 2 immigration officers everything, and they took him into custody. Now, at this point, Gordon and his mother, Sarah Louise, had managed to get away, surprisingly enough. Obviously, you can get quite far in 2 hours. I don't know if they were on foot, if they had a hidden car or whatnot. It didn't really say anything. There's not really much to be said about the father. I think he did testify saying they did this. But yeah, they got quite far. Gordon and Sarah Louise ended up going all the way back to Canada. They did get arrested in Vernon, near Vernon, British Columbia. On September 19th, 1928, Sanford Clark testified at Sarah Louise Northcott sentencing. And Sanford Clark testified that George Northcott had kidnapped, molested, beaten and killed 3 boys with the help of his mother. Sanford Clark also testified about the young Mexican boy whose body was found on the side of the road. He said this boy was from Mexico and that Gordon had forced forced Sanford to help him to get rid of the body. He forced him to burn the skull of this boy in a fire pit and crush the skull, and forced him to dump his body. He said that he dumped his body where he did because there was nowhere else to put it. He also stated that quicklime was used. So obviously the authorities go along to the ranch, and what do they find? 3 shallow graves with body parts in them. And they were exactly where Sanford had told them that they were. They didn't find all of the body parts in these shallow graves, and further down the line of the trial it is found out that Gordon Northcott and Sarah Louise Northcott got rid of the bodies, started digging them up and taking them to a deserted place and setting fire to them. They did this on the 4th of August 1928, a couple of weeks before they were obviously arrested. These body parts were never found. Nobody knows. I think in total, if I remember correctly, there was 52 body parts left on the ranch, and it is believed that Northcott and his mother murdered around 20 little boys in the end. So what happened to Sarah Louise Northcott? She ended up with a life sentence. The judge didn't want to give her a death sentence because she was a woman. I don't think that would go down in court these days very well, especially in America. Although I don't know. I wonder how many women are on death row. I'll Google it in a minute. And then sometime in February of 1929, Gordon Northcott had his sentencing. He got sentenced to death. And on October the 2nd, 1930, Gordon Northcott was hung at San Quentin State Prison. Now I want to know how many women are on death row. Let me look. Okay, so it's quite outdated, but it says here, as of October the 1st, 2018, the NAACP Legal Defence and Educational Fund reports that there were 55 women on death rows across the United States. Let's see how many men. Okay, so I can't find how many men are, but I'll if there's only 55 women, this will give you a little bit of a thingy. A bit of a clue. So in total there are, don't know when this is the Death Penalty Information Centre. I'll link it down below if you're interested. This is from January the 1st, 2020. So from January the 1st this year, there was 2,624 people on death row in America. So you take 55 off of that. It's interesting because it tells you the race as well. 1,090 of them are black. 1,106 of them are white. 353 are Latina, and 27 of them are Native American. 47 of them are Asian, and 1 is unknown. So it's quite interesting, really. But yeah, what did you think to George Northcott, the cheeky little sod, eh? I can't find anything about his childhood. I don't think that he had a bad childhood either. And you hear a lot that serial killers have bad childhoods. They suffer abuse themselves and whatnot. So, but there was nothing really of that on anywhere to be seen. And if his dad bought in that chicken coop, I'd imagine that they got on really well. And for his mum to help him with the murders, then maybe they got on really well as well. But no. It's very strange. I don't know. Very strange. Let me know what you think in the comments to this case. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. We're all there. I'll link everything down below in the comments. I think next week will be the Night Stalker or the Lockerbie plane bombings. Have you had enough of murder? Even though this is only the second murder video. Might do the Lockerbie plane bombings. Might do the Lockerbie plane bombings or the Night Stalker murders if you want to vote. just comment down below. Comment a red heart if you want Lockerbie Plain bombings, or if you want Night Stalker, comment a green heart. I think they've stopped doing polls on YouTube now for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe they're not any good, not sure. But yes, thank you so much for watching again. I will be back next week with another one. I do have a second channel. I shall link it down below. It is just a true crime channel, so if you want to go and check it out, there's different cases over there. I think this week's video is on Junko Furuta and her 44 days of hell. So yeah, I'm gonna go now because my throat's getting a bit croaky. I don't have coronavirus. I don't have that. Well, I've not been out for 12 weeks, so I've not left the house or the vicinity of my garden. So I can't really have coronavirus. But yes, I'm hoping that the sound quality is quite good because I got a new microphone thing here. Look, can you see it? Oh, and my top says, it's one of the most comfiest tops and it's off Amazon and it fits lovely. But yes, anyway, I'm going. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and I shall see you all next week. Bye.